I'm Rob Menzies and welcome back to my channel. Today we are heading off for yet another track day. Today heading off to Cadwell Park and we're going to be on track there tomorrow. That is going to be the 14th of May 2026. We're obviously looking forward to this one. We're going to be loading up Bruce here along with all of my other paraphernalia to get us ready and set up for track. Now tomorrow is looking like, unfortunately, it's going to be a bit of a soggy one, but for a change we're bringing along everything wet weather, and actually why not, let's give this one a go. So if needed, we're going to have wet weather tyres on and go out and have a go in the drizzle. So here we go, we are out, we're on the road, we're halfway to Cadwell, and look how much we've packed in here. My God, have we packed it all in. We've got 3 bikes in here with all the kit and clobber that we need for both sunshine and the rain. We're going to be enjoying this one, so don't go anywhere, I'm going to bring you along for the ride. So in an interesting twist for our visit to Cadwell Park today, it is now 11 o'clock tonight, 11 o'clock at night. It's the night before the track day. We are now 15 miles away from Cadwell Park, and the van that we have hired is decided to drop down to 2 cylinders and stop. So we now have a van full of motorbikes and gear. It's very dark. We're on a little country road with nothing but a traffic light in front of us to look at and enjoy as we wait for the long arduous journey for Breakdown Recovery to come and save us. I think we might see if we can unload the bikes, and we're only 15 miles away, so hell, we'll just sleep in the van and ride to the track day. It'll be fine. So anyway, next time you see me I can tell you how we got on and if we made it or not. Okay, so we're here at Cadwell Park after the debacle of last night with our lovely van that broke down and everything that went with it. We've now made it through. We are at Cadwell Park. I do see a little bit of the blue bits in the sky, however that is not going to last. It's going to be a wet one today, but I am convinced I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to keep it safe, make sure we stay right way up, not push it too hard, and we're going to get out there and just have some fun today, and I'm going to bring you along for the ride as always. So we're setting everything up here, and our next bit I'll guide you through each one of each session. Stay with me. Okay, so I'm just about to head out onto the 3rd session of the day. This one is a very, very changeable one. We start out in some nice dry weather, and by the end of it we turn into some wet weather that ends up being all red flag at the end, and unfortunately that red flag is due to one of my mates that's out with me. A look for him at the end there, standing to attention. So yeah, keep an eye out on this one. Very, very changeable conditions, but still worthwhile, a decent watch and a few overtakes along the way. So come along and enjoy the ride. Okay, so this day hasn't really gone the way that we wanted it to. So I came up here with two of my mates where we knew it might be a little bit on the drizzly slide, but unfortunately one of my mates had a problem with his suspension, was out by the first session. My other mate unfortunately just crashed on the third session, and as I'll show you up here, there is basically Mother Nature giving me a warning sign whereby I had a crow that just decided to come and sit on top of the marquee and just look at us. I think it was just telling me my day is done. Add that to the fact that, yeah, basically we had a broken down van before we even started, lots of mucking around there, and actually the van story continued to be a nightmare as we ended up not getting picked up and rescued until 4 o'clock the day of the track day, which then turned into the AA having to load us onto 3 separate flatbeds to get us all the way back home again, just due to the driver's driving hours to be able to do that. What can we say? Waiting. We had to go all the way back down to the hire company, who then gave us another van which allowed us to unload and load back up again so that we can get home. Eventually getting home at 5:30 in the morning, having about an hour and a half sleep after having only a few hours sleep the night before because the van broke down. This one just unfortunately burst the enthusiasm bubble, and quite frankly as we got home I think all of us kind of realised that actually we probably should have just cancelled this one. I know that it's to try and see if we can get out and do a wet track day. Part of the problem was it wasn't really fully wet, so half of it was dry, half of it was wet. So my normal dry tyres, it's probably a little bit too wet for them, and the wet tyres, it was a little bit too dry for them, so it was that horrible in-between kind of stuff. So couldn't you really get the tyres right? As well as that, I completely forgot about suspension changing. My suspension was way too hard and I was slipping and sliding all over the place, even when I had it in the right traction controls and drive modes. So felt really like the entire day was just kind of toitering around on eggshells rather than being able to doing the usual element of having at it on a track day. So this is actually going to be the last session that I do for this particular day. We call it a day after the third session. Start trying to pack up, deal with the van bits, trying to get home again. We obviously have problems with rain that continues with sunshine and rain every 5 minutes, and it was kind of time to just call it a day. So unfortunately that kind of brings us to the end of this day, a lesson learned. So yeah, I think in the future if we see the weather app saying it's going to be wet, then it's time to cancel it and just go for another day. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you continue to like and subscribe to the channel, and hopefully see you again in another video very soon.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please remember to not only like the video but also hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos like this in the future. Thanks again for watching, and see you again soon.